My name is Jesse Leyva. I'm the Global Design Director for Nike Sportswear Footwear. The DJ Premier project was part of the creative direction of Rivals. We focused in around the Dunk and the Air Force One, and it was really rivaling DJ Premier against DJ AM from the West Coast. The early process with Premier was really having a series of meetings. I went out to New York, met up with them, and it was quite interesting because when you meet with somebody at that level, you think, okay, I'm a little bit more nervous than DJ Premier is. But as he got there and we started talking, I quickly found out that him and DJ AM were already talking kind of trash to each other. AM was actually at the club that Premier was DJing at, and was kind of like, they were talking about it already then. So the process was really me and him sitting down, getting to know what his aesthetic was, what he thought the Air Force One was about, and then me telling him kind of the direction of the Air Force One moving forward, and then meeting somewhere in the middle and then kind of taking it a little bit further. Some of the things that Premier really wanted to do is he wanted his name to be on the shoe, but he didn't want it to be in such a loud way. He wanted it to be very, very subtle. He also wanted to pay a lot of nods to the fact that he's a DJ and that he's from New York. And right now in New York, everything's gotten dark. So he wanted to make sure the color palette was very much in tune with what he would be wearing. And last but not least was that it was a shoe he wanted other DJs to be able to use when they were DJing. It's pretty funny, when we started talking to DJ AM about the project, it was crazy to think we hadn't worked with Adam before. Because when it came to sneakers, we've even purchased shoes back from Adam because Adam had sneakers that we didn't have. So he had collections of stuff that he didn't just collect classic products, he collected things that were, at the time, very performance. So we talked a lot about the Jordan colors, we talked a lot about the Dunk Be True to Your School colors, and how to him that's really what sneakers are all about, very varsity. But then making it very, very street and making it work for him as a DJ. So that was what was interesting about working with him, is that the palette we chose was a palette that was very varsity, very Jordan, but at the same time, he's a DJ, so the colors, the materials, the textures, the layering of everything we went through was really where he started really being very meticulous about. The thing that AM really stressed early on was that he wanted a couple things. He wanted kids who were like fans of his to respect the shoe, but then he also wanted to make sure, because AM's kind of an old school collector of where you buy a shoe, you like the shoe, wear the shoe. And so he was like, I want a shoe that people will wear. It was the first time we've worked with him. It was a lot of fun. And I think we already started talking about like, okay, if this is the first one, what about the next one? Like, he already had like 3, 4, 5 different things in his head. So we wanted to make sure the first one that he brought out, people were like, all right, that definitely, like, they get his style. And then he wanted to start pushing it a little bit more. So it was a pretty good relationship with them. And one that's a little bit, a little sad, because I think we could have done some really good things.